Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm Celestial Saturn, and I'm back with Touchstarved. I've honestly, this is more or less a revelation to me that I am way into these dating sim games. It's weird, but honestly, who cares? It's kind of fun. Let's see. Let's continue on where we were. All right. Let's see. Also, I want to finish this demo. I just call me like completionist adjacent. I just want to finish this. This is the closest I'm going to be going to D&D until I can actually get a D&D group. So I'm having fun. Okay, enough posturing. Okay, a loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say anything else. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you're not my only patient today. The knocking grows more insistent, and Karas lets out a tired sigh. Please wait your turn. Though he says it quietly, the clamor on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, Saturn? Oh, between the Solus attack and the miraculous survival, I've almost forgotten why I came to Erida in the first place. I need directions to the Cenobum. Ooh, you're mad. The Cenobum? The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you'll find it there. The Cenobium's gates open for precious few visitors. Even if they did, you would not like what you'd find inside. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all this way for nothing? Risked a life and limb? Literal limb? For nothing? Back outside I go then. No, that can't be. I've only just arrived, and Erida's the largest city still standing. There has to be a cure for me here. If not the Cenobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Iridia? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wet Wick and ask for Leander. Excuse me? The what? Fun fact, people couldn't read way back when, so they usually would have signs with imagery on it. So like the boot, the fox, whatever. That's how they figured out their pubs and like where they needed to go. Interesting tidbit. So I am curious if there's actually like a dripping wet wick on the side of the building or something. The wet wick. He sounds deeply unamused. Follow the postings advertising Leander's bloodhounds. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. That isn't much to go on, but Cross points towards the clinic's back door. You'll be safe as long as you do not draw attention to yourself. I do not have a good track record of that. That's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. Though he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out the back door. I find myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak up to my nose, stepping over the contents of chamber pots that have been emptied into the streets. And this is why you don't live in cities. Rampant disease. Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets. My coin purse. Everything is still inside. Every last coin that I scraped together for the journey to Iridia. It doesn't even look like it was open. There are so few coins to begin with. They probably weren't worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Karas didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for a future favor. But he also said that in Iridia, secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Karas gave me a second chance and a lead to where I might find help. I better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out the alley and into the crowded main street. The line outside Karas's clinic stretches down the road already. Two thin peddlers queue alongside weathered elders. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. The cobblestones are treacherously rough under my feet, deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. I knew Iridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all crammed together in narrow streets. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over to me. My stomach gives a faint gurgle. This morning's catch, fried up, hot and fresh. Not too many eyeballs today. I wonder what this looks like. That sounds disgusting, but I am starving, so I duck my head under the stall's grubby awning. A large fish leers up at me, its three bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. What's the cheapest thing you got? The vendor points at the metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Fresh long, lads. 3 copper apiece. Don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. This is beautiful, though. 2 streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of color. Painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Well, yeah, you'd basically jump from the slums to a fairly middle-class area, and when you get up to the really nice places, they're gonna kick you out, grubby beggar girl. Sheer red and pink curtains flitter open in the doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Oh, we're in the red light district. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. Definitely the red light district. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I am polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring with the word Bloodhounds printed above his head. A motto, as above, so below, circles the artwork. If Leander is the leader of the Bloodhounds, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around the corner and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read, "The Wet Wick." The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Inside Inside the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. It's not even midday, yet most of the tables and booths are occupied by a loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. I'm no stranger to bars. Sometimes I would take my books to the local tavern for a change of scenery, but I prefer much quieter ones. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter when a chant rises from the center of the room. Show! 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 The remaining green cloaks abandon the bar and their booths to rush towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. There's no time to move out of the way. I'm caught, swept along in the ale-stenched current. Hey? Rhythmic chanting drowns out my voice. I thrash, throwing out my elbows as the press of bodies grows heavier. My hip knocks into a table. I grip it, holding tight to steady myself, but the crowd has stilled. The chanting has stopped. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Jesus! Dude, you need to borrow a bra or something? Because goddamn, that's a chest. Seriously, you dogs, again. Scattered laughter and cheers rise from the audience. I drag my eyes upwards. Leon Kennedy? I'm sorry, this is a Resident Evil guy thrown back into, like, medieval times. Like, seriously. Dude, you could seriously pass as a main character in a Resident Evil game. A well-dressed man stands on the table in front of me, his broad shoulders framed by the thick lapels of his trench coat. This really is the last time, all right? This time he speaks, the audience falls silent as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. But nothing is as captivating as his smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage. Don't blink, or you'll miss it. Let me move this over here. He laughs, and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It would seem I found Leander. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green light. Real magic. No ordinary stage trick blinds me. As the brilliance ebbs, my gaze refocuses on the mage towering above me. He flicks his wrist, and the magic spiraling around him coalesces. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals spring forth. With a flourish, the mage presents the conjured flowers. The audience bursts into clapping and cheers. My mouth hangs open, and not just on account of the impressive performance. There was no incantation, no spell circle. What are you? I've never seen something so beautiful and intricate conjured so effortlessly. Leander must be an incredibly gifted mage. No wonder Karas recommended him. Leander plucks the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns in a slow circle, giving his audience a good look. Now, who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table. Some reach for the lilies while others whistle and call Leander's name. But his cool green eyes slides right over them, locking to me instead. How about you? My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. I need luck, I will take the flowers. I reach out, all too aware of the way my fingers tremble as I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hands, their light dims, they fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me, and I find myself smiling back. Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with an audible clink. All right, bloodhounds, get back to your drinks. Show's over. The green cloaks disperse at his command, returning to their tables and booths. Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. He gives me a friendly wave and beckons me over to the crowded counter. I manage to squeeze beside him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulders presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Is this your first time in Erida? He says it lightly, with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around a low town. My eyes flicker to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get you? Surprise me and add anything my friend wants to my tab. I wasn't expecting the generosity, but I have to admit, I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. But secrets are power. Secrets are currency, so he's trying to butter you up and get you drunk so you can spill yours. He may be a gifted man, but a bloodhound nonetheless, and for all we know, we may have come into a thieves' guild, so... I need to tread lightly here. What exactly should I do? I'll have what he's having? No, water's good. Let's keep our mind. Water's fine. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter. I'm close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. His eyes wander over to me in return, but when they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my throat. Here comes the questions. So, what brings you to the Wick? Karas sent me. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but immediately falls right back into place. So it's about work. The bartender pushes a pair of glasses our way. I don't realize how thirsty I am until the cool water touches my lips. I drain the water in a single gulp. Leander takes a deep swig of his beer and lets out a satisfied breath. How can I be of assistance? I need to get into the cenobium. As soon as the word cenobium leaves my mouth, the entire bar falls silent. Bloodhounds twist around in their seats to gawk openly. Finally, an especially drunk one speaks up. The hell are you bringing up the cenobium here? Throw him out! This is bloodhound territory! The vitriol catches me off guard. From the angry looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some unspoken rule just by mentioning the cenobium. When I glance at Leander, he's drinking, as though he hasn't noticed the uproar. Only when he catches me looking does he lower his glass. For the love of... He drags his hand down his face. Hey, keep it down, will you? This is business. I tense, expecting an argument, but the outspoken bloodhounds silently return to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me warily. Sorry about them. The cenobium's a bit of a touchy subject in these parts. Mix in enough drinks and, well, you saw. How about we continue this outside? When I give him a terse nod, he pushes away from the bar counter. I follow Leander to an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick, where layers of frayed bloodhound posters have been plastered to the walls. Seeing them side to side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeness on the posters is impressive. Cross didn't send you here for help with the synovium, did he? From the look he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggested I find an alternative. Yet here you are asking about them anyway. What do you need the synovium for? I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information's worth is weight in gold here. Cross told you the truth. The synovium's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky, or torture you if you're not. Torture? My teacher never described anything like that. Maybe because your teacher didn't even realize. It's like people going to Paris for the first time and being highly disappointed and wanting to go back home immediately. There's more to the place than the famous bit that you know of, and you don't even know the famous bit that much. Yeah, take it from the locals, don't go. But the synovium's supposed to be a place of learning, a sanctuary. The synovium had always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a world steeped in nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the synovium. That's why I came here. That's what they want you to think, but things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, if I staked everything on a lie, then what now? Leander clears his throat. But as I always say, there's solutions to every problem and alternatives to every solution. I like you, dude. He claps his hands and turns to me with a brilliant smile. That's why Cross pointed you to the bloodhounds. Let us help you. Whether it's hunting soulless, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables, we can do it all. And free of charge. I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his practice speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander nods slowly. Then your problem must be fairly serious, and if the synovium's your first choice, you're searching for a magical solution, aren't you? When my eyes widen, he nods along, as though he suspected all along. I'd be happy to help you out, that is, if you tell me what ails you. Leander might not work for the synovium, but if his show is any indication, then he's even stronger than the mage who raised me. She couldn't do anything about my curse, but maybe? I'm silent, plagued by indecision. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this could be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a pained whisper. I'm cursed. Cursed? Oh, now I'm very curious. What kind of curse? Something ancestral or more recent? He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally, my hands. It's your hands, isn't it? I wait until I'm certain in my voice will remain steady before answering. My touch is dangerous. It changes people. hurts them. Before I've even finished, Leander begins to take his gloves off. He tugs his right hand free and flexes his fingers. Let's see it. He offers me his hand, and a prismatic flash of magic ripples across the palm. Enchantment for protection, but I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is, I can't bring myself to hurt him, to see his face twist into a mask of madness. Believe me, this isn't an ordinary curse. I'll be fine. Perhaps where you came from, your affliction was strange and one of a kind. But spend a year in this city, you'll see 1,000 curses and thrice as many cures. Do you really think Cross would send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. I'm as good as any mage in the Cenobium. Better even. If they can help, so can I. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. I look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. And then with a short breath, I began unwinding the bandages from my hand. Fine, but if you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can tie me up first if that makes you feel better. Wait. Why are you blushing? Why are you blushing? Is this your kink? I mean, I could kind of understand because of all the belt buckles and stuff, but are you okay over there, man? With each joint I expose, I grow more and more certain that this is a terrible idea. Ready when you are. If he's bothered by the way my hand looks, he doesn't show it. My fingers hover shakily over his palm. 3, 2, 1. I'll trust you. I tap his palm once, as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. While I look at his face, expecting to see the worst, Leander only grins. See? It can't be. This time when I reach to touch Leander's palm again, he catches my wrist before I pull away. I told you, there's really nothing to worry about. He trails off when my thumb brushes the soft skin of his inner wrist. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain a clear, soft green. I literally did not realize his eyes were green, like, at all. Color rises in his cheeks, but he remains still except for the subtle bobbing of his throat. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of Leander's palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't prepared for. I've been with other people, kissed them, been embraced by them, and more, but not like this. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail. The grooves of his palms, the smooth shell of his nails, the pulse of his heartbeat. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand. Not without dire consequences. I never realized what I was missing until this moment. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine is hammering as fear gives way to excitement. Let him go. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels as though it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. May I ask your name? I'm Saturn. You're right to hide this from me, Saturn. That curse of yours is unlike anything I've ever dealt with. I can tell you're discreet, but you'd best not go showing that off to anyone else. I didn't plan on it. Okay, this would be a good stopping point for right now. Because now the character has been given hope and we got to meet somebody new. But I'm liking the storyline so far. The plot is subtle, kind of like a slow burn as it's been going so far, but who knows? Things might go bad. I might die. We'll find out as I continue on with this game. Until the next one, please like, comment, subscribe, and definitely give this game a look. I know it's on Steam and on a couple of other platforms, so if you have a chance to sit and play the game, definitely play it. I'm loving this demo so far. Well thought out. So I'll leave you guys here and I'll see you in the next video. Alrighty? Bye.